All right, so this first question was sent by Convival Bucket 84. What is your preferred strategy to get the fight to the ground?
For me, I like to use my hands to set up takedowns when I am looking to take the fight to the ground. So I like to be aggressive and come forward and throw some heat at his face to bring his hands up. So then it leaves his legs vulnerable for me to change levels and attack the leg. So I guess that would be my best strategy.
Okay, so basically just try to distract him with your striking and then make an opening to use your takedowns?
Yeah, yeah, that's how I like to do it. Big overhand right always gets the hands up, and then change bubbles into a double leg.
All right, so this next question was sent by Trial134. What would you say is the most effective takedown?
In my opinion, I think double legs are most effective, but I actually prefer single legs just because I find that single legs leave you a little bit less vulnerable for like guillotine chokes and submissions. So for my preference, I like to attack singles, but double legs usually are the most effective.
Yeah, they're probably the most common takedown that you would see in the UFC is definitely the double leg.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So this next question was sent by Jazzy Liliak. How do I prevent being countered or sprawled when attempting a takedown?
It's all about the setup, man. The best way to get a takedown and to stop your opponent from countering or sprawling you out is just properly setting it up. So if you can disguise it without them noticing that you're going for a takedown, then you're going to have a lot less chance of being sprawled on, right? But if you telegraph it a bit and give it away, if you're just shooting in from too far, or you're not setting it up with your hands, then you'll probably get sprawled out, right? So really make sure you're in tight and get his hands up so they're not ready to go, ready to sprawl and interfere with your takedown.
Okay. And so, yeah, this next question kind of ties in with what you just said there. It was sent by Route 44. What can I do to be less predictable when I'm going after a takedown?
Just constantly mixing levels up. Like when you're on your feet and you're striking, just constantly kind of faking takedowns and faking striking just to keep him off guard, so he's not sure where you're going to go. If when I'm standing in a certain stance, I'm always striking, then he's going to notice when I throw a takedown. So just like slight little level changes, dropping your hands, kind of faking to the leg, and then striking, and then vice versa, faking to the head, and shooting takedowns. So just mixing up your attacks.
All right, so this next question was sent by Eyed Industry. At what point do you decide to take the fight to the ground instead of striking?
Well, in the past, in my old fights, like when I was coming up, I came from a wrestling background, so it it was definitely my fallback, and it was kind of my main go-to. Is I wanted to get the fight to the ground and work my ground and pound, so that was always like my goal. But now, as I've gotten a little bit more comfortable with my striking, I kind of prefer to strike now. So I guess the only way I would take it down is if maybe I got rocked or hurt with a punch, and then maybe I would look to change things up a little bit.
So it's more of an in-the-moment decision for you, whether you decide to take it to the ground or not. You don't decide before the fight.
It depends who you're fighting too, right? Like if the
Yeah.
guy you're fighting is a real killer on the ground, well, you might not want to take it to the ground. But if the guy you're fighting, is really good on his feet and maybe his ground game's a little weaker, then I'll look to take it down
Okay.
there if he's more dangerous, right? That's a pro of having good wrestling is you get to choose whether you want to fight him on the feet or the ground. So
Yeah, you're more well-rounded.
too, right?
Yeah. Okay, and yeah, that's related to this next question as well. How important would you say your grappling skills are to your technique, personally?
They're really important, man. Like you gotta be well-rounded in today's MMA, because if not, like if your ground game's weak and guys will take advantage of that and they'll take you to the ground. So it's very important. It's one of the most important things.
Okay. And so this last question. Would you say an MMA fighter could succeed in the ring without any grappling skills at all and relying solely on his striking abilities?
Absolutely not. 100% no. There's no
Absolutely
way.
not.
That might work. Even back in like UFC one, that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy would win a fight or two, but look at who won all those original UFCs.
Yeah,
It was
Gracie.
rappers, it was wrestlers, it was Royce Gracie, it was Ken Shamrock, the guys who knew the ground game. So even in UFC one, guys with pure striking and zero grappling wouldn't work. And today, it'll definitely not work. Like you at least have to know how to stop guys from taking you down, right? You at least have to have good takedown defense, but you're not going to be able to stop every single person from taking you down. So you need to know how to grapple. Absolutely. I think if anybody tries to step into the ring or a cage and fight in MMA with zero grappling, they are very ignorant or whatever. Right? It's a bad idea.